Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Josh with Bowls Deep Fishing. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. It is an absolute gorgeous, gorgeous day here in Dawsonville, Georgia. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, about, I don't know, 60, 58, 60 degrees, sun shining, just an absolute gorgeous, gorgeous morning. The day before Mother's Day. But if y'all follow me on my channel and on my social media pages, I have recently posted up a video of my walkthrough of my Kayak Coosa FD that you see behind me. Well, my video editing software decided to overlay two of the clips and then write those two clips to make it one clip. So now you're hearing one clip with the second clip in the background. So it sounds terrible. It's absolutely just god awful. So today I'm actually going to try to cut the time down because that other video was about 30 minutes long. So today I'm going to try to go a little bit quicker, not hit on so many points as I did in that previous video. And try to get this thing just to actually work. Versus being on my phone, I'm actually on my GoPro, so hopefully that might help the situation a little bit better. But we'll see what happens. So let me get some more cup of my some good Joe right there. But anyways, guys, so today, like I was saying, I'm going to redo the video of my walkthrough of my Kayak Coosa FD. Absolutely love this boat. This is a 2018 model. Nothing has really changed between the 2018, 2019, and 2020. Now, in the 2020 model, they do have the new and improved flex drive upper unit in whenever you buy it off the showroom floor, so that's a little bit different. But all in all, it's basically the same boat. But like I said, I picked this up, I guess it was December of 2019. I've always wanted a Coosa FD or a Jackson kayak. Let's just leave it like that. I've always wanted a Jackson kayak since probably since I started about 2016 or 2006, 2007. And I finally got my hands on it. Absolutely in love with the boat. Rigging is, you can do so much rigging on this boat. It's a fast boat. It tracks well. It's stable. It's such a universal and catch-all kayak for any type of angle. You can take this thing in the river. You can take this thing on the lake. You can take this thing in the ocean. It's just an absolute phenomenal kayak. But it is a 12'7" fishing kayak. It is 35 inches wide, so like I said, stupid stable, tracks very, very well, and there's a lot of cool little features to this boat that I'm going to go over today. I'm not going to really touch on the manufacturer specs because you can YouTube Kayak Coosa FD and pull up all the specs you want to of just how it comes out of the package or off the showroom floor. But this is a Coosa FD, which stands for, the FD stands for Flex Drive System. So at Jackson Kayak, I believe it was, in 2018, they came out with the Flex Drive System. What is so cool, and like I said, I'm not going to touch on it too much because you can look that up as well. It is a pedal drive system. It comes in a lower unit and an upper unit. And so it was initially came out as a pedal drive system, that a removable upper unit pedal drive system, but they've actually came out recently with a e-drive. So it's a Jackson e-drive, which makes it an electrical. So the upper unit will come off and you can attach an electrical upper unit and make it basically like a trolling motor. But what's really cool is it has a curved lower unit. So it being curved, it deflects off. If you run over a log or a rock or something like that, it doesn't get in the way as much. But what's really cool, it has 3 settings, like I said, and it pops up into the kayak. So whenever, say you have it in the lowest setting, which I call it the three setting, and you're going along in the river or in the lake and you hit something that you didn't see, that lower unit actually pops up to the second setting. Or if you hit it high enough, hit that log is really high enough, then it'll pop all the way back up into the 1 setting, but it prevents it from damaging your prop. Now I'm saying your prop is not going to get damaged because obviously anything's possible, but that helps prevent it and almost makes it like you can actually take that pedal drive system anywhere. River, lake, ocean, name it, you can take it really just about anywhere. And with the e-drive system as well, whenever you get the upper e-drive system, the prop will still be able to pop up and down. But just touch on that a little bit. Like I said, you can look that up on YouTube. Look up everything you want to know about the flex drive system through Jackson. But today I'm just kind of go through from front to back of how I have my Coosa FD laid out. I got a lot of cool rigging options. So if you're looking for rig options, definitely, hopefully, you know, this video will help you out with coming up with some rigging ideas and really just show y'all how I rig it up, and whenever I'm on the water, how it's going to look, and why I have it rigged up that way to make it easier for me to fish and enjoy my time on the water. So guys, let me get everything switched around and I will get back with you soon. All right, guys, so starting at the front of the kayak, it's pretty cut and dry, just like on all Coosas. You have your drain plug right here at the top. So if you ever do get water inside the hole, then, you know, easily you can just flip it up onto the nose of the kayak and drain your water out. Also at the front of the kayak, you have a nice sturdy Jackson kayak handle. It's not a webbing handle, it's a hard plastic handle, so you can get a good grip around that hard plastic. There's no play in it like you would have with a webbing type handle. So really good sturdy handle. That's always a plus, you know, especially dragging your kayak, you know, down to the boat ramp or down the river, or, you know, across the sand into the beach. It's always good to have a nice sturdy handle. Another good thing that Jackson has on their kayaks. Moving on down, this is my line cutter's floating fishing net. So I usually just keep it right here because it is floating. So if it does fall off my kayak, it still floats and I don't have to worry about, you know, having it leashed. Now if I'm in rough water, like say I'm going down a lot of set of shoals, I know it's going to be rough, then I will probably attach that little bungee cord to something just on my kayak, just to keep it a little bit more secured under the net. And I keep that net on top of my front hatch. With it being a pedal drive system, I usually do not, I have my bending branches always with me 100% of the time, because sometimes whenever I do get to where I'm going, I will switch over to paddle my kayak versus pedal it. So I'm not really using the top strap, but on the Coosa FD, it comes with a nice sturdy paddle strap at the front, so you can store your paddle up front. If you are, you know, you're not using the flex drive system that day and you're just pedaling, you have a nice place to store your pedal. Or God, I always say that's the problem with pedals and paddles. You just get those confused. You can always store your paddle right here if you're ever not using the flex drive system. Also at the top of on the front hatch, you have two nice sturdy locking system that holds your front hatch down. Very easy, very user friendly. It's just basically just a flip of a switch, I guess you could say. And you can access your front hatch. Inside the front hatch, it is a very wide or big front hatch, so you can basically fit just about anything. There's absolutely tons of storage inside the Coosa FD, especially for camping trips. You know, you can fit a whole tent, extra rods, your go bag, your food, everything you can fit all right here. And actually you have access to all the way at the end of your kayak. So definitely can pack this thing full of stuff and still have plenty of room to pack more stuff in. Also, what's really cool about the front hatch system, a lot of kayaks don't come with this around their front hatch system. There's actually a rubber seal on the top or around the lid of the kayak. So I know a lot of kayaks are starting to come with that on it, but some of them still don't, and I think that's a necessity, because I'm not saying this front hatch is waterproof, but it does a pretty good job of keeping water out, or almost like a watertight system. Obviously, if you turtle over, there always is that potential for water to get into it, but it's actually a cool, you know, I think all kayak companies should definitely, if they're not using a rubber seal around their hatches, they definitely need to. Moving on down, before we get into the flex drive system, I want to touch base on my camera mount system. If you have not watched my kayak fishing camera mount system, definitely go check it out. It's probably the third or fourth video down from this video. It basically breaks down how I have my camera set up on my kayak and why I have them set up on my kayak. But just to touch base on real quick, this is a Railblaza Camera Boom 600 attached to a Railblaza Starport HD. It gets, why I have it up here on this track system is you get a good front view of you inside the kayak. And another cool thing is you can this thing actually moves. So if you don't like the angle, or if you want to get a side angle, you can move it all the way out to the side, you know, just about anywhere you want to go with it. You can do it with the Camera Boom 600. But what's also cool is with Railblaza, all their stuff comes easy to come on and off of the mounting system. So if I ever want to put my Railblaza Mobi device and just use my phone for lives or take a good selfie, you can easily just flip that switch, remove your GoPro mount, and then put your Mobi device holder right there and take a good selfie with it. But that is also attached to my front track system that the FlexDrive system is attached to. So it is on a track system, so you can still access and use this track for all your accessories, but when you are attaching or sliding your T-bolts into this track system, you will have to remove this Allen bolt right here, because if you try to slide your T-bolt through here, it's going to hit that Allen bolt and you won't be able to get all the way across it. But they're very easy. They're threaded holes, so just go very slow taking out and very slow, and just hand tighten it back to the boat whenever you're doing it. I've already shot a video on that, so I'm not really going to touch base too much on that. Basically, whenever I replaced my lower unit, I had to take all this apart, so it's definitely in my playlist, so definitely go check it out. On the FlexDrive system, it is very, very user-friendly. If you ever want to remove the upper unit of the FlexDrive system to either cut down weight or you just don't want to pedal that day, it's a matter of turning 2 thumb screws, sliding them over, and then easy peasy, it pops right out of the track system and out of the lower unit. So you can basically just store this at home or keep this in your truck and just to cut down weight for that day. It's still not that heavy. I think it's around, correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say it's about 10, 15 pounds the upper unit is. Don't know that exactly, but that's kind of the ballpark that it's in. And then your lower drive will stay in your kayak, because with that curved prop system, it easily stores in the hull of the kayak, so you don't have to worry about it. But I do have a DIY that should, actually the parts came in yesterday, that will eliminate that lower unit in the Coosa FD whenever I'm going the river. But I'm not going to touch base on that now, because you know there's a few more things I got to work out. But moving on down, as you see, there is tons and tons of tracks on the Coosa FD. You got 2 on each side of your working space. I call this area the working space. Then you have 2 more track systems on each side of your kayak, and then you have almost like a square track system in the back of the tank wall, which we'll get to here very soon. But on the front track system, I keep my Lowrance Hook 2 triple shot attached to my Railblaza fish finder holder, a fish finder mount. It's very, very cool little mount. There's a couple different locking systems on it, so you can actually, if you want to, you can turn your fish finder all the way around with the locking system, then it can lock back in place so it stays tight right there. And this mount is actually specialized for the Hook 2 triple shot, because with the Hook 2 you have a different mounting system on the back of the head unit, so you have to have a different mounting or a fish finder mount to fit that. And then also you have a nice adjustable handle or adjustable thumb handle right here, so if you want to, you know, have a more hard setting, or all you do is loosen that up and you can drop it and twist and turn it however you want it to be. Moving on down, I try to keep my area, my working space, as clean as possible, because 90% of the time I'm standing and fishing and I don't want to, you know, step on anything or have anything in the way, knock anything in the water. So I try to keep this as open as possible. But on the Coosa FD, you have a nice padded floor in the bottom of in your standing area of the Coosa FD. Nice sturdy pads, and not only that, it's not as hot in the summertime if you're ever on it barefooted, but also it keeps a nice little cushion and almost like a silencer whenever you're really, you know, trying to sneak up on the fish and really assault them or attack them while they're on their beds or anything like that. So it's just a little extra add-on to, you know, better serve you while you're on the water and for your fishing. Moving on down is, as you see here, there are scupper holes all the way throughout the Coosa FD. This Coosa FD did not come with scupper plugs, but so basically I just did the DIY foam golf ball for my scupper plugs. I always like to use scupper plugs. I always have, ever since I started kayak fishing, and even kayaking. I always like to have scupper plugs in. So I will always have them, no matter if it's 100 degrees outside or negative 30 degrees outside. I always have my scupper plugs in. But on this side, or on the 2 front scupper plugs, or scupper holes, there are a little bit they're a little bit special, to say the least. So on each side, actually under the hole, is a place for your transducer to mount to. So basically it's a cutout in the bottom of the kayak, so you can easily mount your transducer in the scupper hole and keep that transducer protected from getting damaged, you know, in the river, or, you know, on the lake or anything like that. It keeps it protected. Obviously there always is that possibility that it's still going to get protected if it hits in that right spot, but for the most part it is going to be protected, and that is on either side of the flex drive system on the 2 front scupper holes. As you see here, I've already mounted my transducer up under the hole, and I've actually used Matt Ball's DIY scupper plug mount. Definitely go check him out. I think it's Matt Ball Outdoors. He's a huge supporter of Jackson Kayaks. He's got about almost every model. So he has got a lot of good things for Jackson Kayaks for mounting different, you know, DIYs and so on and so forth. So I took his transducer, scupper plug transducer mount idea, so it's definitely a cool little idea, so go check it out. And then as you see here, I have a Hobie wiring kit. It's a through hole wiring nut that you can run your electronic wires through and into, you know, into the front hatch or wherever your battery is. My battery is, I use an Aqua battery. It's actually in the front hatch, along with a, you know, a couple little tools, so on and so forth. But that helps to keep your wires hidden nice and clean, and then also it has a watertight seal around it, a nice little rubber seal that it actually helps to keep water out of inside the hole. I understand, yes, I did drill in my kayak, but once you drill into a kayak, you get a little bit more used to it every time you drill into it, a little bit better at it. So you drill in a kayak once, you can do it a million different times. But moving on, this is what's really cool. Another cool thing about the flex drive system. So Jackson has a little door in the bottom of the kayak that you can access your prop, your propeller, or whatever you want to call it. So basically, if say you're fishing Gunnersville or a real nasty grass lake, or anything that you're going to get a lot of grass and stuff tight around your propeller or your prop, you can easily access it inside the kayak and get out any nasty gunk stuff that might be get around that prop. I got a bunch of braided line around mine, and it was an easy way just to flip up the door and actually, you know, unthread that braided line. It's a really cool thing. A lot of other kayak systems, they don't have that. Some of them do, but some of them don't, and I think that's definitely a necessity to have. If you are going to have a pedal drive or a motor type system, you need a way to access your prop while you're inside your kayak, because that just makes it just so much more user friendly and easier to handle. And then they have a nice little locking system on the prop. Now, I have stood on this little door. Some people do, some people don't, but I have had no issue standing on the door itself. It does have a little bit of flex to it, a little bit of movement, but I haven't really damaged it. Obviously, I try to stay off of it as much as I can, but, you know, if you step on it, I don't want you to think that it's going to break and fall through. But just to be on the safe side, I wouldn't step on it, but I have stepped on it before, and it's pretty sturdy plastic. But right here is actually your switch for your settings on your flex drive system. Like I said, I'm not going to touch base on it too much. There's 3 settings. This is actually in the store setting. But what's really cool, even in the store setting right here, you can still pedal it with the door open, and you will still be able to move. Yeah, you're going to get super wet, but you're still going to be able to move. And then basically, it just moves upward. That would be, you know, almost in the second setting, but it's on the ground, so it's not going to go all the way down. Then all the way up, touching the flex drive upper unit, the switch or the handle will actually touch the flex drive system, and that will be your lowest setting or your 3 setting. That's where you're going to get the most speed, less drag, and that's where you're going to really drop it down and gun it, to say the least. Crank up that Evan Reed. So definitely in the 3 setting. But moving on, guys, what's really cool, and also let me just touch base on these real quick. I got these puck lights from Home Depot. They come in a pack of 20. I think I got them for about 20 bucks as well. They're not watertight, but what's really cool is they are puck light systems. They are wireless, and they have 4 different light settings you can have. I've attached them to the inside of the sidewall of my kayak with some Velcro, some industrial type Velcro. But what's really cool, they are wireless, and they have a remote or not a Bluetooth remote, but the remote to turn them on and off. You can set them on a timer, on and off. You can select the color that you want to off from the remote. So that's really cool. I have 4 of those just along inside inside my working space area. So on the mornings of tournament morning, you know, I'll be able to have my lights cut on and be able to see what I'm actually doing. I usually keep it on the green setting because I like the green setting, but if it's really dark or in the middle of the night, then I will switch to the red setting. It's a little bit easier on the eyes. But moving on, the seat itself is actually on a track system as well, which is really cool. So basically you just loosen these thumb screws on each side of the seat, and your seat will be able to move forward and backwards very, very easily, be able to trim it out. And also, if you have long legs or short legs, you'll be able to basically fit the kite to your what is more comfortable for you while pedaling the kite. And then whenever you get that sweet spot, you just tighten those thumb screws back down, and then you're ready to rock and roll. Another cool thing on the Cousas, and obviously on the Coosa FD, is the high-low setting for your seat. So basically, this is in the high setting right now, but if you ever want to drop it into low setting, say you're about to go down some shoals, or you want to sit lower in the boat, you can easily just pull the pins of the at the bottom of the seat and on each side, and then you can drop that seat into the lower setting that's right down here. And then there's actually holes that you can secure your seat to, so if anything does happen and you do flip over, you're not going to lose your seat while you're at it, or while you're going down the lake or on the river, whatever. Also up on our seat, you have a tray system that's on a track system as well, so it can move forward and backwards. In that track, or in that storage system, or that tray, I keep my Yak Gear fish stick, my Yak Gear little Yak Gear lip grips, and then a couple more. You know, I find what baits are really hitting that day. I also keep them in the front as well, just to, you know, have easy access to them. Moving on each side of your seat, you will have your steering for your rudder system. So they're actually on each side of the seat. You can easily almost run this thing like a 0 degree or a 0 turn lawnmower. That's typically what I do, but no matter if you're left-handed or right-handed, you can easily turn the kayak while you're sitting in the seat. So on the right side of the 2018, and actually on the newer models, you'll have these stickers on each side of it, but on the right side, they made it completely dummy proof, forward for right, backwards for left, and there's also a neutral position that it's in now, and you can flip that little thumb control down, and it keeps it locked in there. So if you are trying to get across the lake and you want to stay straight and not have to adjust it, you just flip that thumb setting into that groove and you're ready to rock and roll. Moving on each side of the track system, or each side of the seat, there are track systems, like I said before. On this side, I keep my anchor wizard. I really don't anchor in open water, so it's mainly rigged up for the river for my drag chain, which I have a separate video of how I've installed my drag chain on the Coosa FD, so definitely go check that out. I'm not going to touch base on it too much, but if you don't have an anchor wizard, you definitely need to get one, because these things are freaking gold. I will never own a kayak without an anchor wizard, to say the least. Also on each side, you have a paddle keeper. On this side, I don't have my thumb screw in, but we'll flip over to the other side where I can better show you. I have my killer Bending Branches Angler Classic paddle already rigged up for you to easily see it. But that's how, you know, they have a nice little bungee cord on each side of the seat to store your paddle if you want to keep it out of the way, you know, for the whole entire day. So usually when I'm pedaling, I rarely use my paddle unless I'm in back of a cove and there's not a lot of moving water. I will use my paddle, but most of the time it keeps stored just to be on the safe side. And basically the bungee system, just like any other bungee system that holds your paddle, you basically just, and what's cool with Jackson is they have this little pull tab, but you basically just flip it over, attach it to that thumb screw on the track system, you're ready to rock and roll. Pretty dummy proof as well. Also along my whole boat, you will see Railblaza Starport HDs. I only use Yak Gear and Railblaza accessories. I absolutely love those products. They're phenomenal products. I use them just about everywhere, even in my truck. But as you'll see, I'll have Starport HDs all over my boat, so if I ever want to remove, that's another cool thing about Railblaza, they all work on the same mounting system. So if I ever wanted to move my camera to the front, to this Starport HD, or anywhere around the whole boat, I will be able to do that with these Starport HDs through Railblaza. It's kind of hard to do with one-handed. But moving on, this is where I usually keep my Railblazer Moby device holder, but I forgot to switch the locky system over when I was in the lake, and I actually lost my Moby device holder, but I have another one. It should be here in about 2 hours. Thank goodness, fast shipping from Yak Gear, you're awesome. Also on this side, on the left side of my seat, I have a Railblazer rod holder. I don't really use rod holders that much. I don't really fish a lot of live bait, so there's really no useful for a rod holder. But the reason why I have a rod holder is if I ever net a fish or I'm tying a new lure on, I can slide the rod in the rod holder and keep it secured and not have to worry about knocking it inside or knock it in the water. So it keeps it nice and secure. Moving on to the back of my Coosa FD, right behind the seat, you will see there are another track system. Like I told you, in the tank well, there's almost like a squared track system, which is really cool. You can mount stuff behind your seat. As you see, I have my Jackson's kayak cup holder. It holds, like I said, a full-size Nalgene bottle, also a nice Yeti cup. And also with Jackson kayaks, they have ram mount systems. I don't use ram mount systems, but I just have this ram ball right here, maybe just as a grab point. I haven't really taken it off, so that's just basically just sitting there. But if you do use ram system, then you can easily, you know, you can use any type of accessory on a Jackson. Jackson just really likes rams, so that they usually send a ram rod holder whenever, and the Jackson cup holder and a Jackson Nalgene bottle whenever you buy a kayak through Jackson. So that's pretty cool little add-on whenever you're buying a Jackson. But also on either side of this track system and all over the boat, there are actually pre-drilled holes in your kayak that are actually threaded, so you can easily attach different types of accessories to these thumb screws. Don't have to worry about physically drilling inside your kayak. But as you see here, the previous owner had a Boondocks landing gear system attached to this Coosa, so you see there's two little holes. There's two holes on each side, so I will have to plastic weld those, but not too big of a big deal. Also, on each side or in the back of the Coosa FD, you have two flush mount rod holders on each side of your seat. So definitely cool little area to store your rods while you're going down the river or anything like that. But also on the back of my seat, I have the Yak Gear Yak Sack. If you have not seen these before, these are absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love this product. It actually holds my Yak Gear brush grips in them. But just touching on this product right here, you can keep just about anything. I usually keep my wallet, my keys, my key fob, you know, anything that's actually not actually, but, you know, very close to that you don't want to lose, is you can put it in this Yak Gear Yak Sack. You have two front pouches of the Yak Gear Yak Sack. Also, you have a zipper pocket, and has tons and tons of storage. I have extra thumb screws. I have extra turning identifiers. Like I said, I keep my wallet, my keys, all my stuff in here is zipping. It's a nice watertight pouch. Also on the other side, you do have two more pouches. What's really cool, you have a couple different ways whenever you buy this product you can mount it. It comes with thumb screws, so you can mount it on your track system. It has a buckle system, as you see I'm using here, and also it has a loop system. So if you want to do like a little DIY type mounting for the Yak Gear Yak Sack, you can definitely do it with it. It's a very cool little product. It is definitely worth the money, and you will get a lot of use out of it. A lot of people ask, what do you use for worm storage? Right here is what I use for worm storage. I also carry worm bags as well, but 9 times out of 10, I'm going to put my extra worms in here too that are hitting that day. Moving on to the back of, in the tank well of my kayak, I have my Jackson J crate. Now the Jackson J crate are a one of a million, and they are very, very hard to find. Jackson is no longer making them as of right now. They had a couple little issues with them whenever they were making them, so they're not right now. But if you go online, or if you go on Facebook Marketplace or Facebook, you know, pages that are around Jackson products, you can definitely find someone that's getting rid of them. Actually, there's one up there today, a lime green one, that's for sale right now. They are definitely worth the money. They are a good sturdy storage box. Sorry, I thought there was something crawling on me. But it's a very, very cool little thing. It holds all my tackle, and also on top of it you have 2 track mounts. So I am installing a Starport HD right here today, so I can get a good over the head or over the shoulder shot while I'm filming, while I'm kayaking. But you can really mount just about anything on there. And then also it comes with 3 rod holders attached to the back. So I carry 7 rods with me while I'm on the water. No matter if I'm on the river, lake, ocean, whatever, I'm usually going to have 7 rods. So I can store 3 in the rod holders, 1 in each of the flush mount rod holders. And then what's really cool is on the Coosas, the Coosa HD and the Coosa FD, you have almost horizontal rod storage, or almost internal rod tip protectors. So basically you can slide a rod in these rod tip protectors right here on either side. There's 2 on 1 on either side, total of 2, and then you just run your rod all the way down, and your reels tucked nicely right up on the seat to keep them out of the way and not getting damaged. That is an absolute must-have on a kayak, is horizontal rod storage. Instead of being internally in the hole, you can store them horizontally and have access to them while you're on the water and fishing. Definitely cool thing that comes on the Coosa HD and the Coosa FD. Really love that feature. But like I said, I keep 7 rods, 3 in the rod holders, 1 in each flush mount rod holder, then 1 in each horizontal rod storage. So definitely cool little thing that comes on the Coosa. Also in the back of the tank well, like I said, is a track system, almost like a square track system. But also it comes with a nice bungee with the kayak. So if you're not using a J crate or a black pack or milk crate, you can easily store, Plano boxes up underneath it, tents, extra clothes, dry bags, whatever you want to put, you can put up under the bungee system, and it keeps it nice secure while you're on the water. Very cool little thing. I love tank wells. I really do. I know it's kind of crazy, but I just love tank wells. It keeps everything out of the way. Moving on to the back of the kayak. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I'm trying to go a little bit faster, but it's getting a little bit long. I'm already back up probably to 30 minutes. But in the back of the kayak, you have another hatch in the back of your kayak. But what's really different about this hatch is it still has that watertight seal around the hatch itself, and you can access inside of the hole to store. As you see, I have an extra hog trough and a couple more things back here. If you can fit in this hole, you can fit it in the kayak. It is a little bit narrower hole than the front hatch, but you can still get a lot of good stuff through this hole and into the hole of your kayak. But what's really cool also, the back hatch also protects the rudder system for the Coosa FD. So what's really cool, Jackson does not use your typical steel cables or rope or anything like that for their rudder system. They actually used almost fiberglass rods like you would get on a tent, or a little collapsible tent. That's how they use their controls versus the ropes and the steel cables like a lot of other vendors use. So that's really cool. But what's also cool is it keeps your rudder system protected from it getting damaged, but also it's easily removable on your kayak. So you can basically pull this little ring right here, and your rudder system actually drops inside or out the bottom of, sorry, this is hard to do one-handed, drops in the bottom of your kayak, so you can easily remove it if you like to when you're in the river. That is your rudder. They do make an upgraded rudder for the Coosa. I just have not got it yet, but I've really had no issues with it. It turns on a dime. I absolutely love it, how it's protected. It's kind of hidden, and I just really like the rudder system on the Jackson kayaks and the Coosa FD. Also in the back, you will see this is where my anchor wizard come out, and it drops down. It's connected with some pad eyes, drops down in the back. Like I said, I don't usually use a big size anchor in the lakes. I mainly just use a drag chain in the river, so that allows it to drop off the back, and I can slow down going into current, or where I'm not missing none of the good fishing holes. Also in the back of the Coosa FD, you have a nice molded and sturdy handle, very strong handle. It fits your hand very well, so it makes it easier for transporting. But also you have 4 pre-drilled holes for just about anything you want to put back here. But what it's mainly for is power pole systems, and also people have modified trolling motors to go on the back of the Coosa FD. But it's mainly for the micro power pole system. So if you have a micro power pole, you can easily attach it in the threaded holes and not have no issues. Very user friendly, very easy to mount stuff to this kayak. And then obviously on the back of the kayak, I have my killer Jackson boat tag. This thing has been through the ringer already, and still got a lot of life in it. Just a little cool little feature that you can get from Jackson as well, guys. But let me get the camera flipped around, and I will give that to you here soon. All right, folks, so that is a wrap for my walkthrough of my Jackson Coosa FD. I'm hoping and praying whenever I upload these videos into my video editing software, I'm not going to have the same issue, but if it does, and I'll try to create another video. I understand it was a very longer video. I try to make it as short as possible, but I have a lot of accessories and a lot of useful stuff on my Coosa FD, so I was trying to be as thorough as possible. I may have missed a few things. If you saw something I did miss, please let me know, and if you have any questions on it, please feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below or shoot me a DM. I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. And guys, if you have any ideas for rigging options on my Coosa FD, please let me know either in the comment section below or shoot me a DM. I would love to see your ideas. Also, I'm a huge DIY guy, so I definitely want to see what you got rigged up on your kayak as well. So definitely let me know, and go ahead and follow me on the socials. Bulls Deep Fishing on Instagram, Bulls Deep Fishing on Facebook. I greatly appreciate that, but that's an easier way for me to communicate with you guys. It's easier to message through Instagram, message through Facebook. It's just easier than the DM system on YouTube. So definitely, if you haven't already, go follow me on those two social media platforms. But guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know I've been promising it to you for quite some time now, and I finally got around to it. I just really wanted to get it all rigged up and really show you how when I'm on the water, how I have my kayak set up, guys. So if you like this video, if you don't mind, please go ahead and smash that like button. I greatly appreciate it, guys. Leave me some comment in the comment section below. If you think this video absolutely sucked, please let me know. Please also let me know if there's anything better I can do for shooting videos, and also let me know, guys, if there's anything you want to see, kind of more focused on, say you want to focus more on the fish finder mount, please let me know and I'll make a video on that, guys. And guys, if you don't mind, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it, guys. But I got to get off here. I'm going to try to hit the water this afternoon, create some more content for you guys. But thank y'all so much for watching. I'll catch you on the flip side, guys. Stay classy. Deuces.